Hey everybody, Derek here to bring you another video for our Walking Dead countdown to the Season 5 premiere. Today we are exactly 5 days away from our upcoming 5th season premiere. We are getting very close, folks, very exciting, and I'm also happy to hear that Walking Dead will definitely be coming back for a 6th season. They renewed it today. Not a very big surprise. I figured that they would renew it, but seeing that this is the first time that they've actually renewed it before the season starts, shows that AMC definitely has a lot of confidence in the season, and it's definitely, I think it's a good marketing strategy. You know, like when you renew a show before it even starts, you're kind of sending a message to the audience that it's worth watching, and you may be able to attract new viewers. I think that's one of the problems that we have with TV now. But anyways, I digress. But nonetheless, I'm very happy to hear that they are getting a 6th season. And today I'm doing a very big video on who I think the people at Terminus and Beth's captors are, and are they related. So basically, I'm just going to give various theories for what I think they are. Um, definitely with this show starting soon, I definitely want to get my opinion out there, see what I think, see maybe what you guys think, and just to throw that out there. If you guys have any comments that you want to make, feel free to leave them on the video. And again, this may contain spoilers. It's more just speculation though, so it's I have not gotten any information other than what's already been released. So I don't have any particular extra knowledge. These are just theories. So, but just in case you want to go in fresh, this may contain spoilers. So don't watch the video if you don't want to be spoiled, even in the slightest way. Okay. So as we know, Rick's group is at Terminus right now, and the trailer seems to indicate that they are cannibals. And in some ways, I agree with that. I think that there's more to it, though. And these are a couple of the things that I was thinking about. That part of it probably is for survival. I mean, unfortunately for us in this case, humans do have nutrients in their body. I mean, you can eat a human and just get certain nutrients that you can get from eating a pig, eating a cow, eating vegetables, fruits, whatever you may. There are definitely various options out there for sources of food in the Walking Dead world, and I think that part of it is, they cook people in order to eat them. I think that's part of it, but I think there's more to it. And one of my theories is that they are a cult in some ways, and that perhaps it's sacrificial. Um, in the trailer, you see Gareth holding a book of some kind and a pen. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily a notebook that he's writing things in, or if it might be the Bible or some other religious, book. Because I could definitely see that being a possibility. I mean, they seem to have a lot of cult uh, feelings about them, or that they're working towards something as a group. So I definitely think that there's something that unites them into being cannibals. I don't think it's just, hey, we're all going to agree to this. I mean, it was kind of different with the comics. There was only 6 of them. Whereas in the TV show, there appears to be like 20 to 30 people at least at this Terminus location. So I think there's more to it than just we're cannibals and that's that. Perhaps they believe it's a sacrifice, that maybe they believe in a religious belief that, hey, if we sacrifice these people, then God will provide for us, whoever that God is, and, we sacrifice the blood, because the fact that they have them sitting over like I think it's a trough, I think is what it's called, but they have them leaning over something, which may mean that they're using that, collecting the blood, something like that. There may be reasons behind it. So I think that there could be a sacrificial part to it, a religious belief, whatever you may have. That is definitely possible. It may not be, though, because again, the fact that Gareth is writing in that, I don't know if he's just making notes for himself or if he's actually just taking down like a history, like, hey, this is what we're doing, or making notes about the people. Another thing I thought of, and this is if Terminus and Beth's captors are the same people, that they're not necessarily at the same place, but that they're organizations are united, that they know of each other. And that might also mean they kill people for fear as well. I thought about that, that maybe they, again, the fact that Gareth says in the trailer that will go to Washington together and cure this thing. Whether he's saying that to Rick's group or just somebody, I don't know. Again, we've known that the Walking Dead trailers have been misleading. And for all we know, he may just be saying that to be funny, like, oh, you guys think you're going to be the saviors of the world. Well, that may be. Again, they have the ability to change things and twist the meanings. In the trailers and in the TV show, it could be something totally different. But if Gareth really believes in finding a cure and fixing this thing, then he may just kill some of the people out of fear, or fear for the others, because you think about it, he has Rick, he has Daryl, he has Bob, Glenn, all lined up. And for all we know, Abraham may be in that scene as well. He just may be off screen. I don't know. I mean, I highly doubt it. But perhaps he kills them because he sees them as threats to his ultimate goal. Because for what I think, again, and a lot of people have said, well, the A on the train car means arrival, and that there may have been another train car that said D, that people may think that's for departure, that we're going to send you off to this other group. And perhaps they might sacrifice the people that they think would be the most opposing to them. So Rick is definitely a big leader. And if they kill him, then it's definitely going to make the others afraid. Like, oh, I don't want to, mess around with this or they're going to kill me too. So it might be part of a system. It's, hey, I'm killing the strongest of them. So that way the people that we think of as the weakest are not going to rebel against us because they're afraid. They know that we're going to kill them. So that's definitely a possibility as well. I think that they may just be killing them and sacrificing them for another purpose, is to instill fear. So that could definitely be a possibility there. And this brings me to Beth's captors a little bit, because I think there's a lot of things that they may work together on. That is definitely possible, because you hear Gareth talking about, hey, we're going to go to Washington together and cure this thing. And you have Beth's captors who, they appear to be police officers. I know that the woman that talks to her, to Beth at the beginning, I think the actress's name is Christine Woods. We haven't really gotten a character name yet, but she says to Beth, every sacrifice we make needs to be for the greater good. You're not the greater good. You're part of a system. And perhaps they believe that, in order for them to provide for the greater good, some people need to be sacrificed. And that's something that, people have used that ideology going way, way, way back. I mean, you send soldiers off to war in order to, provide for the greater good. The more people, you defeat the bad army, and, the world can get back to normalcy. I mean, again, it's a stretch, but you understand what I'm saying. It's that we've always had, in some ways, a greater good kind of thinking. And perhaps that people at the place where Beth is at, they may be part of the government. That they may be, like maybe the Georgia government or whatever the case may be, that their thought is, hey, we're doing this for the greater good so that we can, find a cure potentially and get this world back to the way that it's going to be. But in order to do that, we're going to have to kill people or, weed certain people out and make a good world. And that might be another thing, is that they might think that, bringing these people together, they might be looking at, like, the best kind of group to keep the world going. So they may have people there that it's like, oh, these 100 people are going to be the people that repopulate the world and, will just be great. They may have been living in seclusion in order to, have like a better world. So that may be a possibility too. But Beth's not, like, Beth may become part of that, or they might want her to, or they're going to use Beth for experiments. Because that was another thing. I mean, in that part of the trailer, you see a walker biting a police officer, and Beth's standing there, and then you see another one where there's another patient who is getting her arm sewed off because she was bitten. Now, is that because they are conducting tests? Well, it might be. It might be that they're conducting tests on people to see um, whether there's a cure. Like they might be taking blood from some people and injecting a thing, like a vaccine in people, letting them get bit and seeing what happens. So that may definitely be a possibility. And Beth might realize, whoa, this is some crazy stuff going on here. I need to get the H out. Because we see Beth running away with, and the person behind her is a new character named Noah, who's played by, I think, Tyler Williams. So it may be that Beth is able to escape from that. But I think that might be something that's going on there, is that they might just be using these people as avenues for finding a cure. And another thing I thought of, the fact that they had the people lined up like a Terminus, perhaps that might be to feed the walkers at uh the Beth's Captors place. Because you think, in the trailer, well, or just in general, in the comics, and you also have to look as well as at Day of the Dead, the George A. Romero film back in the 80s, where they were trying to see like the intelligence of walkers, and they were doing experiments on them. I mean, the one doctor was doing experiments on the walkers, and like there was a part where the walker, well, the zombie, I guess, picked up the razor and was shaving himself with it, and like took a hold of the book and looked at it, like remembered the phone. And we don't really know like what the walkers remember, and I don't know if we can necessarily reverse that process, but I think that they may potentially be doing experiments on the walkers in order to understand them a little more, and that the meat from humans, like if they cut them up, maybe some of that is used for, we're going to live and we're going to, survive off of this. And maybe some of it's being sent over to Beth's captors and is being used to feed the walkers that are there. That's a possibility. Because if you feed a walker, there's a chance that it won't try to eat you, which is something that happened in Day of the Dead. Like the doctor, when two of the soldiers died, he actually used their meat, like their dead flesh, in order to feed the zombie so that it wouldn't attack. And it didn't attack. Like it literally would not attack. So it's almost like a pet, It's like, hey, if I feed you every day and I do this for you, then you won't, attack me, or you won't pee on my floor, or whatever the case may be. It's like you're treating it like a pet. And that may be what they do. They might kill some of these people, send the meat up to wherever the Beth's captors are at, and feed the walkers that they may be doing experiments on, because there are walkers there. Whether they're killing them or not, we don't know. And again, there's not really enough information from the trailer to really 100% know exactly what they're doing, because again, they might be doing experiments on the walkers, or they might be doing experiments on the people, or both, and we don't know. So definitely a lot of different theories, but ultimately I think that they are related. That's what I believe. I think that these people know about each other and that they are working together. Now, where does Father Gabriel fit into this? I don't know. And see, that's something that I think we're going to find out, is perhaps Father Gabriel was recruited, or he was always a part of this, or he was threatened into doing it. We don't know necessarily. But one of the things that you think of is a church is a place where you go in order to find sanctuary, or that you go to find safety. And one of the things that you may see is Father Gabriel acts as a disguise. And I think that one of the things that we think about is that Father Gabriel's story is that he, in the comics, is that he didn't let any of his church members into the church when they came looking for help, because he was afraid, and because he didn't want them coming in and taking his food and potentially killing him, hurting him. Like, that's why he preferred to be alone. That may be a possibility, but another thing that they may do to change that storyline in the TV show is that Father Gabriel may not have done that, but instead what he is doing is he is acting as an intermediary between the groups. And that, he goes out there and goes, hey, I'm a pastor, trust me, come back to my church and I'll give you shelter and we can, ride this out and we can survive in my church. But what he's actually doing is he's handing them off to either the people at Terminus or the people at Beth's captors. Maybe a possibility. And it may not necessarily be something that he wants to do, it's just something he has to do. Because you figure all of these groups are in a very close proximity. So I definitely think that's definitely a possibility, is that he's being used to do that and he's feeling guilty because of the fact that he's had to do that. So I definitely think that there is a lot of ideas behind who are these people at Terminus, who are these people that have Beth, and how does Father Gabriel fit into this? Because no doubt he knows about the people at Beth's group. Because the vehicle that took Beth had a cross on the back of it. And again, what are the chances that there's another car like that out there? Not very likely. And I think that what we're going to see is how Father Gabriel, comes back from that. That he just confesses what he's been doing. And I think, again, that's going to be the thing that is used to eventually help find Beth. And I think it's just going to show like how to bring all these stories together. That's how I think it's going to be. But again, these are just theories. I don't know. It might be one of these things. It might be a combination of these things. Might be none of these things at all. I don't know. They might throw a big curveball in there. So I'm definitely interested to see what they have to provide. But I think that it's definitely going to be a great season. I am really looking forward to it. I cannot wait. So thank you everyone for watching. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them. Feel free to subscribe. I have more videos coming. And if you have any topics that you would like to suggest, don't be afraid to suggest them in the comments or message me. I'm definitely open to doing other video topics. I want to know what you guys want to hear. So thanks everybody, and I really hope that you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.